Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans?
That was so dramatic.
No, you know what it is? I'm drained.
I know.
I'm drained.
I'm freaking tired.
Mentally.
Mentically.
Is mentally a word?
Mentally. It is now. Name the show. Mentically tired.
Mentally, physically, emotionally. I am drained. I'm sure you guys are as well. Thank you for checking in with us on a Monday morning here after the Mets got swept again by the Dodgers. I was sitting in traffic yesterday coming home from Jersey. And 880 came on. It was a bright moment of the traffic I was sitting in. Because like, at least I got Howie and Wayne to get me through the rest of this drive.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's 6-0 Dodgers before I even passed Citi Field coming back from New Jersey.
Terrible.
Yeah, you know what? Like they were rattling off these stats before the game. Scherzer, obviously, with the Dodgers now, came from the Nationals. Plenty of success at Citi Field. He had that no-hitter in 2015.
I was there. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. It was cold night.
Miserable.
It was the night before the last game of the season.
Too.
Really?
Terrible. Yeah.
It was the second game of the doubleheader.
Yep.
Yeah, back when they weren't doing those 7-inning doubleheaders.
Correct.
But I'm paraphrasing here, or just trying to remember what the stat was last night. I think out of his now last 9 starts, he's 8-0 in his last 9 starts. The Dodgers now have won 13 of 14 at Citi Field. So it was a tall Dick Mountain to climb last night, and they didn't get it done. You know, it's crazy because you look at the team on paper, you look at the box scores from Friday and Saturday, like, wow, they got to the 10th inning 2 games in a row. They could have easily won both those games.
Like, I don't care anymore. It's freaking August.
Well, I'm getting to the point there. Ugh. They did lose the games,
and
that's what matters. This isn't horseshoes.
Yeah.
So to be in those games, I was shocked. I'm not going to lie to anyone. I fell asleep. I was awake when they tied the game on Friday night.
I didn't see a second of either of the first 2 games.
And then I crashed and woke up and they had lost the game. I went to the Boomer and Geo boat party on Friday.
Oh.
I know you went to Topgolf Friday night. I was going to go, and then I was like, I'll probably be in no shape to commit to that.
Yeah.
After being out on the water and hanging out with the guys during the day. So, yeah. So Friday and Saturday were a bummer. Last night was what it was. You know, you go into the game not expecting them to win anyway.
You know what? It's not that I'm happy that they lost by that, but like I think it was Conforto after the game on Saturday said something like, you know, well, we're feeling good because we're like in these games, like if they're close. I'm like, okay, that's fine in like May. It's August and you just blew however many 90 days in first place. It doesn't matter if you're close anymore. You need to win the games. And I feel like, say that. Be like, it's unacceptable. We need to win these games.
Well, that's why we were getting on Pete last week. About like, just smile. You know, he said, we got this. Don't worry. Just smile. And it kind of everyone did that because shout out to Jerry Blevins. He has a new podcast with John Boy Media. They brought him on. Very smart on their part.
Yeah.
Their title of their show last week for their debut episode was Just Smile.
Amazing.
And so was ours. And I was like, hey, we got something. Not that like, who cares?
Right.
I was like, we got something in common, guys. Good, good luck. But maybe we'll have Jerry on the show soon so you can cross promote a little bit. But yeah, you know, last week he was saying just smile, and then the Mets did win their 3 games against the Nationals. Big whoop-de-doo.
Freaking store, like it's not the real Nationals.
You play the Nationals, you should at this point be guaranteed a victory.
Yeah.
So let me rattle off some stuff here. We are going to have Bobby V on again.
By the grace of God.
Bobby V was a guest last week for like a hot minute, or not even a hot second. So he should be coming back on today. We had some internet issues last week, and you know, he's a very busy man, and we hope that everything goes smoothly today. So sit tight. We will have Bobby V on. You know who was very disappointed, before I rattle off these notes, who was very disappointed that Bobby V wasn't on?
Who?
Sam.
Yeah.
We talked to Sam on Saturday. Shout out to Amanda Dart. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Amanda Indart. And also Jossie had a birthday. A lot of birthdays coming up lately.
August,
I think
Drea's and Bianca's were both yesterday. Yeah.
A lot of the Seven Line gals had birthdays. So shout out to all you guys.
I think Miles is next week.
Miles, there you go. So Sam, first thing I saw her that day, she said like she was so like hyped up to watch Bobby V. She had a call with work or something. She's like, I'll be right back. And she came back to us. It was like, sorry, that was it. So she thought she missed like the 3-minute interview, but there really was no interview.
Oh, I hope she's watching now.
So let me rattle some things off because it is all doom and gloom.
Let's get depressed.
Orange and gloom thing here.
That's great.
You like that?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that last night. Orange and gloom thing as Pilar is pitching and Drury is pitching last night on national television. Such a
on ESPN. It was really worth, guys, that ESPN game making people take red eyes to play a Monday night game.
Well, that's what Noah was getting at.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Honestly, like I'm getting into my advanced age, and Howie's older than me. You're young, on the younger side, and there's people obviously much younger than you that watch baseball. But like Howie is turning into like more of a Keith role when he gets to some like disgusting ways on the air. He's like, oh, we shouldn't be here right now. Last night at 7 o'clock, he kept throwing jabs at ESPN, and
as he should. It's ridiculous.
You know what? Howie brought up a good point. The players and the owners have to hash this out because it's all about money.
Yeah.
And if the owners are getting or the teams are getting thrown all this money to do these late games, the players have to put their foot down and not agree to things when it comes to the CBA. So who knows what's going to happen? But Noah was very outspoken about it on his Instagram stories, and he's not even playing, but I guess he's really just standing up for his teammates,
as he should be.
But so that's the story. But the guys got in at like 7:30 this morning our time.
I was waking up and their tweets were like, oh, we just landed. I was like, shit. That sucks.
So Stroman's off tonight, but Stroman, like, they did send Dick Mountain there out a little early, Rich Hill, who was pitching tonight. And I'm being completely honest with you, I doubt I'm making it to halfway through this game tonight.
You know what? It's crazy because
it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'm old.
This is busy dog sitting season for me. Yeah. So I do like all my night visits, and usually I miss the whole game. But now the game will be starting like right as I'm getting home, and I'll probably still just be going to bed. But it's kind of nice for me.
Yeah.
No one else.
I don't know. I'm gonna try, but I doubt it. So let me tell you something about these stats here, because if you guys missed it, Julia sent me a text this morning. I'm like, yeah, I already saw it. Fangraphs came out last month. The Mets had like a 70-something% chance.
I think it was like 74.4% chance.
So this morning,
on July 16th,
they are now 59-58. Wow, they're still above 500, third in the East, 2.5 games behind Atlanta, and they have a 17.5% chance of making the playoffs. The way that they come up with that is they look at the schedule, look at the opponents, see who's playing who, and so on and so forth. But let me just tell you, yes, this looks horrible. I wrote a tweet yesterday, and I'm like, I understand that Mets get on us because they think that we're being overly positive because like we're trying to sell t-shirts. And I understand that like it might look like that on the outside, but like we're smart about things. We purposely, when like products come out, I'm like, oh, Mets lost. Here, buy this shirt. We get like when we have things planned, like all right, it's we got to push it. Daniel Murphy bobblehead, cool. Like go buy it if you want to buy it. But we're not overly positive because of a business. I'm kind of just been that like my whole way, my whole life. It's like, look at the world, look at the landscape, look at what's going on with fucking the Taliban. There's so many things going on in the world right now. To be positive about something in your life to maybe help you get through the day.
I agree.
Is what sports is.
I agree.
It's entertainment.
It's supposed to be an outlet. And
so I want to be positive about something.
Right. You get to a point where it's like, I'm not even enjoying myself watching this anymore, and I already have enough things to be angry about, so I'm going to turn it off.
That's why we have like Gary, Keith, and Ron and Howie to keep us company.
Exactly. You got to just persevere.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, but I don't even know where I was getting at with that. There's a lot going on in the world, and look at like, New York City is kind of going backwards now. The vaccination cards are coming out. Like, you have to show a vaccine card now starting today, I think, to go to like a restaurant or the gym. Like the world is not a normal place. No. And like, I feel like a lot of us have our blinders on saying like, well, it's okay at my house. Right. Like I'm doing good. So who cares about everybody else? Right. But sports is an outlet. Sports is entertainment. And
it's like the one place where things are kind of normal right now.
So you want them to win. So let's be positive. But anyway, so this is the story. We've been talking about this 13-game stretch now for a month. Yeah. And we knew this was going to be tough. Yep. They already lost the first 3. They're going in now to playing 4 straight against the San Francisco Giants, who are a great team. Like no one really expected that. The Giants were going to be who they are. Then they got the 3 this weekend against the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. They're off on Monday. Yeah. Then the Giants come to Citi Field for 3 more. Mm-hmm. So the Mets are kind of fucked. Yep. For the next week, right? Unless they really step it up. Thankfully, Conforto's swinging a better bat. But let me tell you something. After that, they play 15 straight games against the Nationals and the Marlins.
All right. Well, how'd it go against the Marlins last time?
Not good. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the opponents and you look at like who they are playing, if you want to do like, hey, bright side, we're going to get past this with the Dodge, they can win a couple of these games, whatever.
I honestly, I'm not even like, I know Dodgers, Giants, it sounds scary. I'm not even like looking at the opponents anymore. Just the team is cooked. Their pitching is shot. Their bats have not been what they should have been all year long.
Let's be pleasantly surprised, though, and give shout out to Taijuan Walker, who took a no-hitter until I think the 7th inning of the night.
And then it ended in the most Mets way possible, but still he had a great outing.
He looked fried up until then, and dating back to even the All-Star game he did pitch in, he gave up a home run in that game. I mean, he only did an inning. It was whatever. It's an exhibition. But from the All-Star game until this past Saturday night, was Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night.
Yes.
He didn't look like the guy he was pre-All-Star game. So we'll see what happens. But the season ends. Our last 3 games of the season are October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Atlanta against the Braves. So the series before that, the Braves and Phillies play each other, and we play the Marlins. So the last 6 games of the season for the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves are going to be very tight.
The Mets have to stay in it until then. And this is the stretch where I'm kind of concerned about it. But I don't know. It's going to be a big series either way because the Braves are going to be in it, so they could play spoiler if anything. But
it's crazy because it is definitely going to come down to it's going to come down to the last day of the season. I feel,
which is fun, even if the Mets aren't in it.
They're all going to be in it. I think that the way that the things are shaking out, I don't think anyone's going to run away with this. And I think seriously, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to be positive here or trying to lie to myself.
All right,
I think it's really going to come down to the last week of the season.
Okay.
But
from your lips to God's ears.
We'll see what happens. We do have Bobby coming in just a second, but before we get there, I do have to tell you guys about this awesome bat mug I got on my desk because mine came in the mail the other day. I don't think the fans got theirs in the mail yet that did the pre-sale, but I know a couple people, so I'm happy to have mine. So the metal bat mugs that came out from Dugout Mugs are freaking awesome. I used mine all weekend and actually brought mine to the race yesterday. Unfortunately, didn't win, so I didn't celebrate with a beer afterwards. But
you're a winner of our hearts.
Thanks. I had a fun day anyway. But the metal bat mugs are freaking awesome. And if you guys missed out on the pre-sale that they had up about a month ago, they extended it special just for our viewers and listeners. So go to dugoutmugs.com/metal and use the code 40METS, no spaces, 40METS for 40% off your dugout mug. They are normally $49.99. You get 40% off just by being a loyal listener of Orange and Blue Things. So Dugout Mugs are the only bat mugs out there with the MLB license, the MLBPA license. They got the Cooperstown rights. They're awesome. We love them. Check them out. They're down in Florida, owned by some great guys and gals that work in the warehouse and everything. So we love them. Check them out. Dugoutmugs.com/metal. Promo code 40METS. That is only active for the rest of this week. So definitely jump on that and enjoy. I love them, and they are great. So without further ado, let's give this another. Oh, no, I can't hear him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can hear me.
There we go. Perfect.
I can hear you now. Let's give this another shot. We got a mulligan here with Mr. Bobby V. So our next guest wore the orange and blue as a player for 2 seasons in 77 and 78, a coach from 83 through 85, and manager for just over 1,000 games in 96 to 2002, going an impressive 536 and 437. A beloved figure in Mets history and currently running to be the mayor of Stamford, Connecticut. It's Mr. Bobby Valentine. What's up, Bobby?
Wow, you got all that in. Thank you. Good to be with you. I'm glad we have Wi-Fi today so we could talk a little Met baseball, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny. We were chit-chatting before the show today, and we were saying oh man, I hope Bobby knew that we were going to be on for a couple minutes because we saw you were outside, and we're happy to have you today. So appreciate you giving us the time.
We're there, and before I go to campaign headquarters, we're going to get this all done.
Yeah, perfect. So I started to ask you this last week, and we got a few seconds out of you, but you were back at Citi Field for the Hall of Fame ceremony. So tell us about that. What was it like being back, seeing everybody? How'd it go?
Oh, it's spectacular. Steve and Alex Cohen invited me down for that, and I was with them another night here in the past week. And I think everything that's happening at Citi Field this year, and I believe beyond, is right where we want to be. And I'm so proud of everything that is progressing. And with Edgardo getting into the Met Hall of Fame, along with a good friend, Ronnie Darling, and of course, a teammate, John Matlack, it was a special day.
Well, we hope there's a spot for you out there in the Mets Hall of Fame as well. I think you deserve it. I think a lot of fans would say the same. So I caught up with you at QBC a few years ago. I remember you came down to catch in Astoria, and I feel I don't know if this is something that Mets fans always want to bring up first, but is the mustache game something that fans always want to talk about?
Absolutely. And it's crazy that minute or 2 minute in time really has allowed me to transcend, if you will, generations. Young people who have no idea what was happening in 1999 or 2000 or before understand that I did that and kind of get a kick out of it. And if they just knew that my coaches had just been fired, if they just knew how crazy a situation it was, that 3 or 4 days before I predicted we would go 40-15 in the next 55 games or else I'd quit. Woo! Think about how crazy things were then.
Yeah, I'm going to be 41 in a couple months. Julia's on the younger side, so we have a generational gap here on the show, which we find funny. Where I say that I'm at the advanced age, and Julia, is still trying to, live life in her 20s.
For reference, I was about 5 years old when that happened.
Yeah, Julia was 5 when that happened.
You remember it well, Julia.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a fond memory for sure.
So I think fans got a kick out of it, and I know you were fined and actually suspended for that. Did the front office have a problem with that at all?
Oh, they were having some problems with the entire situation at the time. We were trying to figure out how to take the next step, and when you're trying to take that next step, there's always confusion. So when this happened, they laughed first, and then when it became always disrespecting the game, which was anything but what I was doing, then they started frowning, but it all worked out at the end. That's for sure.
For sure. And so you guys ended up winning that game in 14 innings, but we don't see many 14-inning games anymore. How do you feel about this runner on second, 7-inning doubleheader thing? How do you feel about all the new rules that are coming out?
Oh, I like a lot of the new rules. I don't mind the 7-inning thing at all. I don't like the runner on second. I think it just distorts what baseball is all about. You start the inning and keep the leadoff guy off base. That's all part of the psyche of the game. So and I'm not big on that, but most everything else I like, except for the play at second base. I think we've taken away the great athleticism that baseball players have, and we don't allow it to be viewed anymore. The idea of a double play in the infield takes all of the specialness of baseball and puts it into one capsule, if you will. It deals with timing, and you have to do things quickly to get 2 outs instead of 1. It deals with balance and coordination, that teamwork idea of getting the ball to the guy so he can get out of the way of the runner who's coming in. And then that guy who's making the pivot always was the ballerina of our sport, the guy who showed the greatest athleticism on the diamond. And, we've taken that away. And as much as sabermetricians might say it has not affected the ability to score more runs, I call BS. That the double play is a pitcher's best friend. And when you allow the double play to be so casually made, automatic double plays, ground ball, man on first, it shortens the inning and it keeps the offense from having as much offense as they should have.
We got Bobby V on Orange and Blue Thing with Darren and Julia. And we're also, Bobby, if you don't know, we're also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So we do have fans. I don't know if you can see the comments on this side of the screen here. So if fans want to chime in, you got any questions for Bobby, we can pull them in here. So, it's crazy how quickly 20 years has passed, and 9/11 is coming up very soon. I don't know if you saw the documentary. That's not really a documentary. It's called Last Play at Shea. There's a whole segment in there with the Billy Joel documentary about 9/11 and the scene at Citi Field and the way the team really stepped up. I'm sorry, the way that the team really stepped up at Shea to do what they could, to try to help out. And the days leading up to 9/21 when baseball came back, Shea Stadium was an important part of trying to do what they could to help. So for the fans that are a little too young to remember, or maybe just don't know, can you tell us what that was maybe like for you and the team?
Well, what it was like is that the parking lot was transformed into an outdoor Home Depot, if you will, with members of the community, and the community as far away as North Carolina, bringing things to the parking lot, T-shirts gauze pads and eye drops, and you name it, anything that people of the community thought would help the wonderful people at Ground Zero who were digging and making caves into this enormous mound of rubble to try to find any survivors who might have been in that tremendous pile of scrap metal and concrete and debris. And it went for naught. We found no one. And it's kind of symbolic of giving your best effort, and the results of the game are really not the full story of the game. That week of people giving their all to try in vain to find survivors from that horrific event was a glorious attempt at being helpful to your mankind, and we did it. We had these boxes and sorting out the jeans from the socks, from the sneakers, you name it, we had it. We had thousands of bottles of water, tens of thousands of bottles of water. We had thousands of pairs of jeans that we were sorting into signs. See, because when people would spend 3 or 4 hours in this rubble, they would come out filthy black. Their clothing would be covered with soot. Their eyes and their face would all be covered, and they'd get hosed down and change with the stuff we would send down, and then they'd go back to work again. And it went on 24/7. It went on for about 9 days, and until we went from a rescue effort to a recovery effort. And everybody who was involved in that really needs to be acknowledged again, even though the effort went for naught. It was a spectacular effort.
Yeah, so I'm sure it was extremely emotional for you to be a part of that, and to try to get the guys motivated to then play a baseball game 10 days later. We saw, the stage was set for an unforgettable night. The first responders there, and the national anthem was who was the national anthem sang by again? Was it Liza Minnelli?
No, she did the seventh inning.
Okay,
New York.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so it was a very emotional night, and capped off with the Piazza home run. But before the game started, we saw the ceremony and the Mets and the Braves lining up, and everyone shaking hands, and then kind of trying to turn the page to say that now we have a baseball game to play. How hard as a manager is it to keep the guys motivated to play a game when we know that there was so much else going on outside of the game?
Well, the adage that plays in life and on a team is that no one cares to know what you know until they know that you care. You know what I mean? And our players showed our community that we cared, and I think my coaches and I tried to show our players that we cared. We cared about them personally. We cared about their families. We cared about the fear that they were dealing with on an everyday basis, and the anxiety that they had to come back and play a game of baseball before 40,000 people a few miles away from an airport where what we were always known for was the planes taking off and landing over Shea Stadium. As a matter of fact, I remember we had pickoff plays that were automatic pickoff plays with the pitchers and the infielders when the noise of the plane taking off would be so deafening that the runner could not hear the third base coach. We would have an automatic pickoff play at second base, But now the thought to go back and play in a stadium and having these planes was a horrifying thought. So you have to understand it was not an easy situation to deal with personally or collectively, but the New York Mets stood tall and did everything on the field and off the field that they they could do to make things right.
Well, it's crazy to think that it took 19 years for the league to allow the Mets to wear the first responder caps again on the field. I know it was kind of spearheaded by Pete Alonso 2 years ago. He wore the custom cleats, and I don't think he got permission. He just kind of did it. And last year, MLB finally folded and said, go ahead and wear the first responder caps. But I know Howie Rose was big on that. He was kind of putting the pressure on Joe Torre when he had him in the booth a couple of years ago, back before the pandemic had hit. But yeah, it's definitely an emotional time. I was 20 years old on 9/11, so it's very strong in my memory of what that was like, and something that I'll never forget. And I feel like it's always important this time of year and every day to really remember those we lost and what this town and city was like. And every street you looked on, there was American flags in front of people's houses. Everyone was very supportive, and it was a crazy time. But I hope are we going to see you there on 9/11, the 20 year?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'll be throwing out the first pitch to Joe Torre that night.
Wow,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, I hope I reach and I hope he catches,
Was that an exclusive you just got? Was that known?
I don't know. Is that might be breaking news. You may have.
I might not have. They're going to now take me off of the roster, I'm sure.
We just got our first breaking news. That's gonna be great.
That's awesome. Everybody's gonna be thrilled to hear that.
We're gonna be there, so I'm gonna be excited to see that. And that's I'm sure we'll be. I'm hoping we'll be seeing Piazza and some other guys out there. If you don't have to tell us, but yeah, that should be. It's weird. It's tough to say. It should be a fun night because you want to always be sensitive to those that remember that day that they lost a lot. Thankfully, I didn't know anyone directly that had passed away on 9/11, but it's hopefully a celebration of their life and also a remembrance as well. It's tough to say that you're going to be happy on a day that's so somber, you know?
A respectful celebration, indeed.
Absolutely.
So we've been trying to avoid talking about a topic here on the show for the past couple of weeks because it's sad to say that the Mets have went so south so quick because they were in first place in the NL East for like 90 something days. I think it was 90 days, but they were kind of the best of the worst. You look and you put this Mets team up against the NL West, they're in like last place. So, you look at what happened and they kind of let it slip through their fingers. As a manager, what could you possibly say to these guys to kind of get them out of this rut they're in and kind of play to their potential? Because there's so many guys on the team. Conforto's coming around, but there's so many guys on the team that you look at the back of their baseball cards, you look at their stats. You got Jeff McNeil, who was an all-star. Pete Alonso's been doing what he can, but what do you do as a manager in this situation?
Well, you let the guys know that the 9 that are playing are the 9 that he believes and we believe are the best 9. But, without Lindor, without Baez now, without DeGrom, you keep wondering as a teammate, what is the real team? What is our best foot forward? And you try to keep the guys from thinking about what could be and just let them do what they're supposed to do. This has been a really good effort, though. This team has pulled together very nicely. That 2-9 that they did, every team in baseball goes 2-8 during the season in some 10-day stretch. And you like to get it out of the way at the right time. I told Steve Cohen the other night that I thought they got that 2-8 out of the way at the right time. And then they got hot, and then the Dodgers came, and now they're not. But they need to turn that around quickly and not do a repeat of a 2-8 in the next 10-day stretch, even though it's a tough stretch, these next 7 games that they have. I just think that a little spark here and there, I think with one of the guys coming back, even with a Conforto, as he was hot there the last week, one guy getting hot to make the team feel like the team is what they need. It's enough of, next man up type of thing. They have to start feeling their identity. And if they feel their identity and feel the group that they should be, I think they're going to be just fine because, the Atlanta and Philly right now, they got hot. So eventually they will not be hot. And when they're not hot, if we are, that gap will increase. I think we're going to win the East. I think it's going to be a tough road through the playoffs. But if DeGrom gets back and that bullpen stays healthy, I think they'll have as good a shot as anyone.
Well, it's awesome to hear you talking baseball and like a manager, but we do also know that you're kind of embarking on a new journey now. So you were born in Stamford, Connecticut. Did you ever know that you would end up running for mayor one day? Was that ever a thought in your mind prior to this kind of second chapter of your career?
Well, I left Stanford in 1968 to become a pro baseball player with the LA Dodgers after being their #1 draft choice. And I was lucky enough to play for Tommy Lasorda my first year, and we were friends for the next 50 years. And he often came to Stamford, Connecticut, and he often introduced me. Hey, look, I'm with Bobby, the mayor of Stamford. So it's been that kind of talk for years, but it's only been about the last year that I took it seriously, and I see, us coming out of the pandemic in a way, I hope similar to the way we came out of the 9/11 situation. I hope we could come out of this pandemic with a unifying effort and have a city of Stamford, Connecticut, which is a cool city and that's growing as fast as any city in America. I hope that we could be the leader for other cities to show how to do things the right way and how to do things collectively and together. There was no political divide after 9/11, and there should be no political divide in city governance. We're filling the potholes and getting the kids educated and getting people living properly in the community that they work in shouldn't be a national issue, and it should have nothing to do with national politics. So I'm running unaffiliated, which means I have to do everything from scratch. I have no party affiliation that's kind of greasing the skid, if you will, and sending the money down or showing me the roadmap. But as I've done all my life, I'm giving it 24/7, and I'm really into this campaign. It's kind of a rebirth for me, and I'm very excited.
That's awesome. You sound giddy. It's amazing. So is there any way that the fans who aren't from your area can help your campaign at all?
Ooh, absolutely. BobbyValentine.com. Just go there. There's all buttons to push. They can volunteer, they can donate, they can give me ideas. It's all out there. And as I say, it's all grassroots. We're building it ourselves. So everyone, it doesn't matter your affiliation. It doesn't matter your nationality. You're welcome to be with Bobby V. That's for sure.
Awesome.
That's great. So, Bobby, what we do on the show, we're going to have to bother you one more time after this, because what we do, we ask our last guest to ask the next guest a question. So our last guest was Daniel Murphy and his wife, Tori. So we reached out to Daniel and Tori and asked if they had a question for you. And they came back and said, if all goes right in your life, you win the race, where do you see yourself in 3 years from now? Like, if you can predict the future, break out your crystal ball, where do you see 3 years from now?
Well, 3 years from now, I'd probably be asking for people to be part of the next campaign so that I could do it again for another 4 years. Hopefully 3 years from now, I'm knee deep into governance and I'm leading a city the way it's supposed to be led, and people are excited about it, and I'll be up for re-election after that 4-year term, but usually start to work on it after 3.
So I have to ask you this, because as I had 2 of these yesterday. I'm going to be completely honest. I ate 2 yesterday. I probably have like 7 a week. I know you're already laughing about it, so you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It has been said that you invented the wrap sandwich. Can you explain this, please?
Oh, it's a tough explain, but actually it's easy. In the early 80s, and matter of fact, 1981, I was a year deep into a restaurant business that, I'm still in after 40 years. And I was cooking this particular day, and we didn't have a club sandwich on the menu, but the banker that I borrowed money from to build this restaurant was out, and he wanted a club sandwich. We didn't have a toaster that was working, and we had just gotten the 10-inch tortilla shells in from Arizona, where we had to ship them in from Arizona because really Mexican food wasn't happening here in the Northeast at the time. And I looked down at the tortilla shell, and I told the waitress, tell them the club sandwich will be out in a second. And I just put all the ingredients of a club sandwich into this tortilla shell. I rolled it up. I put 3 slices of American cheese on the top of it, so it covered the little crack in the tortilla and held it together. I put it underneath the salamander. I melted the cheese. It held together nicely. I cut it into 3 pieces. I put it on a plate and told the waitress to serve it as a club Mexican style. Before you know it, it was on the menu as a Club Mex. And as people researched it, including the Wall Street Journal, who tried to debunk the idea that it was the first American sandwich that was wrapped in a tortilla shell, after researching it for 6 months, they came up with the definitive answer that the first menu was actually at Bobby V's 1951 that had a wrap on it. And they give me credit for inventing or creating a wrap. And that's
well, I thank you because I honestly I have like one.
Me too.
I have like one a day.
Wraps are my favorite kind of sandwich. So, that's so funny.
I appreciate your efforts because that's amazing. This is a weird question. I'm going to ask it to you anyway because my daughter is only 6 years old. And whenever I have someone come on the show, I ask her, hey, do you have a question? No offense, she doesn't know who Bobby V is yet, but she will one day. And when she watches this, when she's older, maybe she'll know. The first thing that came out of her mouth was also food related. Do you like peanut butter cups?
I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter cups too. I'm not a big peanut butter cup kind of guy, but I'm all into peanut butter and jelly. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
This is the hard-hitting journalism that everyone expected of us.
Definitely probably not something you would get from like maybe SNY or whoever else. But Bobby, we appreciate your time now 2 weeks in a row. I can't wait to see you out there on 9/11 throwing the first pitch to Joe Torre, which is
heard it here first, I think.
Breaking news. And thank you for your time. We good luck with the rest of the race. Definitely everyone go to BobbyValentine.com. Help out Bobby, share the word. And hopefully you win this race. And then we see you re-elect in 4 more years.
Let's win this race together, huh? Would it be cool? World Series and election night all kind of coming together at the same time. Wow, what a thought.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate your time.
Bye,
Thanks,
Bobby.
guys.
That's great. I'm
glad the wait.
I'm glad it worked out this time. You know, I was having a little trouble with the comments here.
I was going to ask if we were going to do fan questions.
We did get some stuff in here, and then for some reason I scrolled back and it was lost. So my apologies to the fact checkers. I didn't ignore you guys on purpose. Julia probably saw me scrolling through here. I was trying to pull something up, and then it didn't work out. So that was great. Good luck to Bobby. We hope it works out. I'm glad. That's pretty cool. We got like our first exclusive.
I know. Look at us.
If you saw,
and then we followed it up with, do you like peanut butter cups?
You see me pushing this?
I know.
Nothing's happening.
Darren's having technical difficulties.
So this other laptop I have on my right.
It's where the soundboard is. It's very important.
Yeah. Well, when the breaking news, I wanted to have a sound.
I saw you like furiously clicking it.
Like I have a breaking news sound, and then it didn't work. So not only did Bobby not get a fart button sound on this very professional interview, he didn't get a breaking news sound either.
Damn. We'll never get tea like that again.
Yeah. Well, we might.
Well, maybe. We'll see. Who's going to be next?
Give us some credit here. Yeah, that was awesome. So thanks to Bobby for coming on. What I do want to talk about is also Coors Light.
Of course.
Because how could you not want to talk about Coors Light? You know, I unfortunately, like I said before we went with Bobby, I didn't partake in any Coors Lights yesterday because I didn't earn it. What do we call them? Winning beers? We called it something one day.
It was Coors Light for competition.
Competition light. So actually, you know what? I said last week, you're like, are you gonna win? I think you said, are you gonna win? And I said, I should. It's a local race, but I didn't win.
Damn.
So this guy just turned 40.
This other just turned 40-year-old
guy that just turned 40, who's we're very similar in times. I think the second race I lost by 1.6. It was a 10-minute race. I lost by 1.6 seconds or something like that.
Wow, the 9 months made all the difference.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Like the first race we go off, I get second. I look at the moto board. It said he was 39. And I'm like, do I really want to be the guy that like rats out this guy that's 39?
The guy who's 40 being like, excuse me.
I'm like, yo, you're not 40 yet. You should not be. Well, when I was 30, listen.
You did. You had to wait your turn.
Last year when I was 39, I raced the 25 and the 30 class because I didn't want to be the guy that races when you're not supposed to be in the race, right?
You ain't no snitch.
But if I got first, I wouldn't care.
Right.
So I got second and I'm like, wait, this guy's 39. So the second race, I talked to some friends. I'm like, should I say something? And I was like, nah, you know what? We were so close in the first race. Let me just beat him straight up.
Just beat him, yeah.
Whatever. So we go into staging for the second race. And he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I just say to him, I'm like, are you 39?
I didn't know motocross could be so petty.
It wasn't like, but I said,
I love this.
I was like laughing kind of, but he was probably like, yeah, why? You asked me because you got second?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I am. But he goes, you want to see my license? He was so like, he got so defensive.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no, I was like, you know what? We were so close anyway. Like, I just want to like have a good race. Cause like it was me and him and like third was like 20 something seconds behind us. So like we kind of like sat there and like texted someone and still did well. So
that's so funny.
He's like,
you're that guy.
He's like, what, the beginning of the year I guess the season starts in March. He wasn't 40 yet.
Okay.
So it keeps your birthday. Like when you sign up, it shows the birthdays like in the column on the right. So he's like, it just never updated. And for some reason it didn't change. And I'm like, oh, whatever. He's like, my birthday. He's like, even told me, he's like, my birthday's May 16th, 81. I was like, all right, man, whatever. Like, let's just go race.
Listen, I had a fake idea. I can fake a fake birthday too.
But I wanted to just see what he would say. But anyway, so I didn't earn my Coors Light. I always bring one, as you guys might know if you watch the show. So I always bring one. I didn't get to partake in it. I was going to put it in
has an asterisk next to it.
I was going to put it in my dugout mugs, my metal dugout mug when I was done with the race. But anyway, Coors Light, I love it. I had one. I brought it one. I bring one per race because I don't want to have more than a beer if I'm driving, back to New York after a race. So I had my beer ready to go, and I unfortunately couldn't drink it. But you guys can, especially if you get it delivered to you wherever you may be. Go to CoorsLight.com/OABT. That'll bring you to a page where you put in your address. No, I mean, you put in your birthday first. You put in your address, then it gives you the options for delivery. I'm partial to Instacart, which I have here on the screen if you're watching live. And if you also are watching live and you see on the top of the screen, it says free delivery today on your first order. So if you haven't used Instacart yet and you want to get your Coors Lights delivered for free to your house or your job or wherever you drink, go to CoorsLight.com/OABT. OABT. Pick up your beers. You look here, it's got Coors Lights 12-pack here for $12.09, $1 a beer, and they will deliver to you for free from. For me, it says ShopRite because we got one here down the block from the warehouse. So Coors Light, we love them. They got a whole bunch of options available. The seltzers, which I like as well. The regular Coors Lights and the banquets. They got a whole bunch of different beers. But Coors Light, we love them. Go purchase yours. CoorsLight.com/OABT. We got a big week ahead of us here, so you might want to stock up. I don't know how late you guys drink. If you're drinking beers late at night, watching these West Coast games, more power to you.
Go with God.
Yeah, do what you got to do. Maybe mix in a coffee, like a coffee and then a Coors Light.
Yeah, that's a great combination.
Coffee and Coors Light.
That makes my brother sleepwalk. Alcohol and caffeine.
So don't do that.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Always a shout out to them. Drink responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So sleepwalking. Have you ever sleptwalked?
I have not. Both of my brothers have. And my brother Brian, when he was young, he has terrible asthma. When he was young, he had whooping cough at one point, and what
is whooping cough?
I don't know. I don't know the exact scientific thing, but like it could kill you if you have like any sort of like respiratory issues. And like I just have like traumatic memories of him like bursting into our bedroom doors because he can't breathe. So one night a few years ago, he burst into my bedroom door in the middle of the night, and I'm like, oh my God, Brian can't breathe. Brian's dying. He was just sleepwalking because he was drunk and had coffee. I was like, no way. You need to go to bed.
I was working at a camp, Camp Woodward in I don't know, late 90s, something like that. You're probably not even born.
Could be an egg.
So yeah, there was a guy that we had bunks off to the side. And there was one night a week where like we didn't have to work. So we went out to like State College, Pennsylvania and the college town and came back. He started sleepwalking and he was peeing in the corner of the room.
My other brother, Joe, his freshman year of college. It's like
his own clothing.
No,
he's
literally.
There just like,
ready? His freshman year of college, his first experience living outside of home. He had a roommate who he didn't choose, who sleptwalked, and he came in and he peed I'm pretty sure, all over his own computer, or it might have been the other roommate's computer.
Oh, no,
just pissed all over it. Like, that's what he would do. He would come in and pee all over everybody's shit.
Just don't drink. Like, honestly, if that was how I was,
and it could be mistaken, but I think he went by the nickname the Dunk Master. So it all checks out.
I would just never drink again. Seriously.
Terrible.
So, guys, we, as you know, if you are a usual listener or viewer to the show, if it's your first time watching us because of Bobby V, and now we're talking about peeing on computers, I feel bad for you. But
honestly, it's one of the tamer subjects I feel we've had
this
season.
show is about, honestly, last night, Julie's like, my face when I know I have to talk about the Mets for an hour. And it's like, do we really talk about the Mets for an hour? I
literally want to do like an asterisk, even though we never talk about the Mets for an hour.
Because that almost never happens. But so we give away stuff each week. I wish I could hit my little button here that says, share the show and all that, because I
just have to do your best Howie impression.
My computer is frozen. I don't know. All right, I'm going to close this. It's frustrating me now. So we give away stuff each week, thanks to you loyal listeners. And on Facebook, the way it works is you hit the share button and it posts to your wall. That's how you're in the running. If you're watching on Twitter, you hit the retweet button and it retweets. And that's how we keep track of who does it and who wants to be involved. So last week we were giving away the challenge coins, like the Hall of Fame coins that the Mets gave away. So those winners on Twitter, it is Andy Kanzer at Andy Kanzer. And on Facebook, Jen Lucella. So we will hit you guys up and get your addresses so we can mail that stuff out to you. If you haven't seen yet, what we are giving away today,
it's apparently very valuable.
Yeah, I looked this up on eBay before. I was telling you before we went live. The Pete Alonso Marvel comic books, which are in mint condition. I'm trying my best to make sure the edges stay nice and crisp. I know they are more valuable that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 2 copies of the Polar Bear Pete Alonso comic book made by Marvel. And we also have 2 of the coinciding bobbleheads. So these are going to be given away this week for next week. So the way we're working it is we have 2 of each. So the winners will get to choose. Do you want the bobble or do you want the comic book?
Ooh.
So next week's winners will get to choose what they want, because we have 2 bobbles, we have 2 comics. Maybe both will want bobbles, maybe both want comics. That's the way we're going to work it. Unfortunately, we were going to show these off last week to kind of hype the game up, but we got it too late after Monday's show. So thank you to the Mets for sending these out. We appreciate it. If you guys are interested, share the show right now. That's how you could be in the running. I know you can't really see it right now. It's just in this box, but look it up online. And honestly, like, I know a lot of people that are probably going to share this will probably also then just try to flip it and make some money. So more power to you.
Don't be that guy.
Oh, whatever. If you want to, that's your prerogative. Do whatever you want. So Jose Reyes was at the game on Saturday night.
I saw that.
He got a warm ovation from the crowd. And, I saw someone tweet this, and maybe it was last night. They said, the difference between the internet and like fans in real life are so different. I'm not saying that anyone's opinions are wrong or right or whatever, but, you'll see an opinion online where Reyes was at the game and people will be like, well, everyone knows, I'm not downplaying it. Everyone knows his history, domestic violence issues and everything and so on and so forth. And then the other side as well, I'm so excited to see him. So at the game, he gets a standing ovation. On the internet, people are maybe more free with their thoughts.
I think it's difficult in that, like, I know my opinion and my love for Jose Reyes definitely had been dampened or dampered, whatever the word is, after that news. It's hard because the Jose Reyes we all loved so much, we knew before that happened. It's different when it happens as you're actively rooting for a person. Of course, this does not negate or downplay anything he did, and I'm not saying that, but I think that's why people have a harder time, separating, because
maybe some people don't even know at this point.
I don't know. I feel like once he came back to the Mets, it's what a lot of people talked about and what a lot of people remembered, and so.
I mean, like at the game, like the people at the game on Saturday night, like Jose is here, like,
right?
Cool,
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people just when you see the whole stadium clapping, everybody claps. There are probably casual fans there who don't even know who Jose Reyes is. They're just there because they got free tickets. Who knows?
I always like to see. You probably don't know who they are. Coheed and Cambria is a rock band from upstate New York. Their drummer's a big Mets fan. You may see him on Twitter.
I have heard that name. Yeah.
I think it's like WERRD, like Weird Science is his Twitter handle. But he's a big Mets fan. He has like a NY, like the NY logo tattoo on his neck, like right here. It's pretty bold and big. But they were at the game also on Saturday. I was like more psyched to see that. Yeah. To be honest,
did they get on the big screen too?
They did.
Oh, cool.
They did. I actually put it on my Instagram story yesterday, like because I was. Like, which I don't normally do. Like, I put like Coheed was at the game.
You fangirled a little.
I did. I sent it to my BMX friends. I'm like, look who was at the game.
Speaking of which, we're talking about ovations. I don't know when this will happen, But whenever David Wright comes back to Citi Field for the first time, that's when it's going to be crazy. And that's what I think.
Oh, you can make a sign?
Of course. I probably will have no knowledge. He's probably not going to tell a soul that he's going to be there because he doesn't want to be bothered. But I have to think if the Mets make it to the playoffs, he needs to be throwing out a first pitch somewhere.
Well,
at some
do you
point.
think that we're not paying attention right now, but do you think that there's anyone that picked up on like the tweet?
Oh, 100%. This has already been
Bobby V.
We think we're going to break this when we repost the show and like get clicks because people will want to see it and people will already know by the time that we do that.
Well, hopefully they give us credit.
Yeah.
We heard first on Orange and Blue thing.
And if you wanted to know, he is a casual fan of peanut butter cups.
Yeah,
so.
Peanut butter cups.
Likes peanut butter and jelly better and invented the rap.
Yeah, I got to tell Amelia when I get home. So, people are asking about LA. LA is crazy. I'm going to LA Friday morning.
Yeah.
For this weekend.
Good
and
luck,
honestly, man, like, please just win that Saturday game. Like, you know, it's not that I'm not looking forward to going. Like Kelly and I are going. We have dinner plans for Friday night. I'm seeing some family on Saturday morning, but I'm dreading the honestly, which is weird because I'm usually like looking forward to the game so much. It's like I'm kind of dreading it because of the way that it's been going, the way that Mets have been playing the Dodgers, the way that LA fans in general are pretty rough.
Yep.
And you know, I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. You know, fingers crossed. That's all I could do at this point. And I can't control 1,300 people.
Right.
But we're gonna try to have as much fun as we can. And people were asking in the comments about the post-game party, which is crazy that it's gone a week now and I still don't have it locked up. Nothing has gone smoothly for LA.
No.
At all.
I think it's like about on par with like the baseball playing it.
The smoothest part was securing the discounted hotel. Even that took a little longer.
Yeah.
But we figured that out and it's cool. People got discounted hotel rates, like 300 rooms or 200 rooms, whatever it is, secured at this hotel, the Sheraton downtown. But finding the spot for the post-game party is almost as hard as finding the pregame.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that what is it? Almost noon. I'll probably hope to figure it out today. But sit tight.
Jeez.
I reached out to that place, Angel City Brewing, which looks great. I haven't heard back from them yet. I like stalked their Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
I sent them. I went on their website, filled out the contact form. I was like, we don't really need anything from you.
Yeah.
It's more so like
a heads up. We're coming.
We're coming. Be ready.
Yeah.
That's all. They can't tell us don't come.
Right.
But like we're
just
picking
so you
your
know.
spot.
Yeah.
Make sure you have enough staff
right.
and, you know, whatever, but they didn't even get back to me. Who doesn't want to make money?
That's what I'm saying. Why won't people take your money?
If I owned a brewery and someone's like, hey, we're going to bring
1,300 people.
Well, to be honest, after the game, maybe 300, maybe 400,
right.
but still, that's a
lot of people.
Add that shit up. Like, what if everyone spends $12?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Dude or girl.
Dude, I feel like dude is gender neutral.
Yeah, dude. So,
I could be a dude.
Whatever. Crazy. Hopefully they get back to me today. So, unbelievable. We do have some. I can't get it to today, but I do have plans for an off-season party. I was talking to Kelly about it.
That's fun.
We talked about a gala years ago, and you were like, you were.
I was not about a gala.
I just wanted.
No, they wanted a prom.
No, I wanted to be like. We'll get to it quickly, but what I want it to be is more just like, let's have like a wedding style party.
Do I have to dress up?
If you want to.
I don't want to. That was why I wasn't. But like, I don't want to like get in like a formal dress
no.
to see the people I'm a degenerate with.
No, I want it to be more of like a holiday party that the members that are part of our package at Citi Field get first crack at it. And if anyone wants to like join for next year, whatever, it's more like a
like a holiday party, like around Christmas time.
Rent the venue.
Okay.
And have fun. Maybe we'll do like a Toys for Tots.
I would do like an ugly sweater party, like an ugly Christmas sweater.
That's fine, whatever.
You make plenty of those, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, good idea. We could sell some more. Good thinking. So before we let you go, we also have to give a special shout out to Project Repat. Great friends of the show, do awesome stuff. They take your old t-shirts or your old garments, your old polo shirts, whatever you want to use, cut it into squares and turn it into a t-shirt quilt. They have over 500,000 happy customers. They are made in North Carolina and Texas. And all you have to do is go to their website, projectrepat.com, select the size you want, and they put it into the pattern, sew it, and send it back to you. But if you want one for free, go to Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram account, you may as well sign up just for this. Go to Instagram and go to Project Repat USA. All you have to do is follow their accounts. And if you want to be in the running, make sure your photo is something Mets related, something orange and blue, maybe something at a game. And they pick one fan per month and they give you one of these for free. Really awesome idea. You can go to their Instagram and scroll through. So many happy customers. They look awesome. Maybe if you're a Mets fan and you're watching this and you want to take your old event shirts, you want to maybe alternate orange and blue, or maybe you want to do something with just player names in the back, whatever you want to do, they can definitely make it happen. So Project Repat USA on IG, follow their account. If you don't happen to win and you want to just purchase one, go to projectrepat.com and get involved. And they're great. We love them. and you should too. So there's something else I wanted. 9/11. So 9/11, yes. We talked to Bobby V about it. We are going to be at the ballpark on 9/11 with the group.
Awesome.
We have our membership tickets for the first 600 some on tickets and seats, and the back portion of the section goes up on game-by-game basis. So we do have a couple tickets left for the game on the 28th, the Jerry Kuzman retirement day, which is in a couple weeks from now. We added a game on the 2nd of September. I should have written all this down.
It's a Thursday, right?
It's a Thursday game. And next up after that is 9/11. So I understand that fans aren't really banging down the doors right now to buy tickets. We know that Friday and Saturday were last night was a little light, but Friday and Saturday were big crowds at Citi Field, mainly because the Dodgers were in town. I think a lot of Dodgers fans were out there, but 9/11, it's going to be a special night. Definitely something that's an important part of the team's history, and obviously it's a somber day, but one to also keep fresh in our minds and remember be positive for those that we lost and keep the memory of them alive. But if you want to go to the game, we do have the tickets available, and they will go up this Thursday at 10 a.m. on Mets.com/the7line-army. They are $129 each, which I know is steep, but we don't set the prices, which actually $129 after I went to the game a couple weeks ago. That's actually not that bad.
I was going to say, especially because the night that it's going to be, it's more than just a baseball game.
They basically see the Subway Series as a marquee game equivalent to opening day. So $129 a pop. It comes with the 7-Line Army jersey. If you've already been to a game with us this year, I know you already have that, but that's just the way it works. The jerseys are the same for each home game. Maybe if you don't want to keep it, you could give it to a friend.
Sell it on eBay.
Sell it on eBay. Make some money back. And, we'll have a fun time out there at Citi Field. So we have some big plans for the pregame party of that day, which I can't let you guys know. I'll tell you, seriously, I'll tell you like in a second.
Okay.
I always say I'm going to tell you, and then I forget. But we have some big plans for the pregame party. I think Chef Cass is coming back out of retirement. He's going to be cooking.
Awesome.
We also have another guy, not that he wants to outshine Cass, but he has a barbecue company, and he said, hey, can I come down with my stuff? I'm like, we're not going to say no. So we're going to have the grills going. We have some music playing. I'll have the truck there. I'm sure Elvis will be doing his thing, but we have something bigger, not bigger, but
better,
not better or bigger, but something else to add to the day that I think fans are going to be like really fired up on.
All right.
And you're going to want to definitely get to that tailgate party. So I'll tell you, seriously, I'll tell you.
All right. Let's get off here so I can hear it.
when I tell you. So thank you guys for doing your thing. Share the show to be in the running for the Pete Alonso bobblehead and the Pete Alonso comic book. Thanks again to Bobby V for coming on. Shout out to Coors Light. Shout out to Dugout Mugs. Shout out to Project Repat. If you're going to LA this weekend, hopefully we see some victories. Don't be a knucklehead. Where the Dodgers fans are pretty rough, but if, like we said when we were in Philly, if someone comes up and says Mets suck, be like, we know.
We're aware.
We know.
Just leave it.
Just have fun. Thank God it's a 1:00 game.
Yeah.
So, guys, do your thing. See you out in LA, and that's it. Put it in the books. I don't have a soundboard.
Well, you're not gonna remix yourself?
Put it in the books. Put it in the books.
That was impressive.
Oh, thank you. All right, guys. See you next Monday.
Bye.